Hi guys. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about this powerful Mercury retrograde in Leo. And I think this is a really powerful Mercury retrograde that we all need to take advantage of. Because this Mercury retrograde, we are able to reset the field from the heart. So we can recognize our ability to create the reality that we truly want, that's going to be a more joyful and more aligned and more in flow with who we truly are. Because we are creators and we are creating realities all the time. We just have to recognize our ability that we're even doing that, all of the time. So, if you don't know me, my name is Jenna. I like to talk about tarot and astrology and energy updates, and I mix them all together so you can have that deep understanding and wisdom that will help you recognize the highest possible outcomes because we have the ability to manifest our reality. And I want to show you how to jump onto those highest timelines possible. All right. So, Mercury retrograde, if you don't know, this is all about revising, rethinking, going back to the way we speak, the way we think, the way we communicate, the way we perceive, even. And we're going back to align with the heart in a really powerful way with who we truly are, because Leo is all about that soulful expression. It's also about romance, fun, play, creativity, creation. It's our self expression. How can we be more bold and be more authentic with our self expression and just kind of share our gifts with the world? Because we all have gifts to share with the world. And the way we can do that in the most powerful way, and the way we connect to our gifts in the most powerful way, is through authenticity, and really from getting to that deeper place within us that is more from our core and the core of who we are in our deeper soulful truth. Leo in the most powerful way is all about that deeper core of who we truly are, and not caring as much about what people think. It's less about performing, it's more about liberating our true selves. It's kind of like when we're kids. Kids and animals, they always shine and they're always radiant. It's because they don't stop the flow from their true self and source and who they truly are. They just let it flow. They don't edit, they don't try to be politically correct, they don't try to put on a false sense of charisma or persuade or filter. It's less about the external validation. It's all about really, getting into your heart and your soul and following that inspiration, following that creativity, and really just having more fun with life. So this Mercury retrograde, we're going to be able to really go back and really reconnect to the voice within, the voice that we had before the needing to survive or feeling like you needed to earn it. It's all about authenticity and recognizing your true power and how you can connect to that deeper soulful self with no agenda, and it is all about connecting to the heart and having unconditional love, because that is also true power. And we can recognize how we can create our reality in a more powerful way that is more suitable for our true soulful essence. Because we are creating our realities all the time. And all we need to do is release ourselves from the mental jail and the mental programs and the mental prisons that kept us from recognizing our true power. Because when we do that, we allow ourselves to radiate our true essence out into the world. And then we can attract more of the things that we want, the right relationships, the right job opportunities, the right ideas, and the right inspiration to even go in the right direction. So, and it's also about being able to step into that leadership role in your life from that true way of leading, which the best leader always leads from inspiration. And this is where we can go back and kind of rewrite any of our stories that haven't allowed us to really step into more of that authentic version of us and, for who we truly are. And we can rewrite any of the stories or any of the things or limitations that we put on ourselves that aren't allowing us to really fully shine out in the world. Have that mind heart balance, because Mercury is the mind and the heart, Leo is the heart. We can balance them out so we can create a story more in coherence, because the way we can be more powerful is merging the mind with the heart and our emotions. And so the mind is electric. This is why robotic affirmations have been so powerful for me, because that's you choosing what you want to think and what your story is on a daily basis, or, as much as you can. And when you do robotic affirmations, you just start to think more positively anyway. That is like you connecting with source and sending out that electrical signal to get more inspiration and to get your mind going more in the direction that is going to be the most helpful for you, and creating more neural pathways that go in that direction, and becoming that antenna to receive. And your thoughts affect your emotions, so your emotions are magnetic, and when you get your emotions and you're feeling good and you're playful and you're inspired, you are going to be attracting what's really truly in alignment with you, and you are constantly broadcasting a signal out into reality. So this is a way we can kind of go back and really check ourselves, like, what signal are we broadcasting out into reality that isn't really serving us? We can really pay attention to our feeling and kind of go into a meditation to really discover why we're feeling it. It's going to be powerful to release the old stories, but also just having more awareness. And I like this meditation. It is just the mind heart coherence. You put your hand over your heart, and that gets you attention to your heart, and you just pay attention to your feelings, and you get more awareness with what you're feeling and why. And you can actually rewrite your story. Like, maybe you've had a limiting story for this entire time, that life just sucks and this always happens to me, and or a tendency to just feel pessimistic or feel negative. And we can kind of get in touch with those seeds, because we want to be more aware of mentally and emotionally, what seeds are we planting for our future. And we can rewrite any story. If we're getting into our heart and feeling like sad, like we have to get to that deeper place of understanding of, why do we cry? Are we feeling bad for ourselves? Are we feeling guilty? Are we feeling like we didn't, step up enough? Do you feel like you could have been better? Do you hate that situation that you attracted in? Ultimately, you have to realize that everything that you called in previously was from you not owning your true power. And ultimately, you do have the power. And this can be a really powerful way that you can reset your codes so you can attract in something better. So say you went through this like traumatic situation and it wasn't, great. You can rewrite your story as soon as you decide that you you just claim your power. Like, okay, I've been through this. I've been through this. I've been through, you've had this certain narrative in your head, but now you want to lead a life that is inspiring to others. You overcame it. You're going to achieve, you're going to conquer. It's just that little pivot point where we can open up and have more love and compassion for ourselves and our soulful journey, or for anyone else, and really open up our heart with this too, and power up our heart so we can amplify the heart's ability to attract even more of what we want. Once we come to that place of acceptance and then decide to align with our inner truth, we can really clean up the codes. We can clean up the signals that we've been broadcasting out into the world, and reset those codes from the heart, from that place of self-love. So you come to this understanding where you might have even sacrificed yourself too much, or you might have been in a disempowering position, or, whatever it is, where you weren't creating your reality out of that place of self-love, where you can pivot and then we can reset our codes to set out a frequency that will attract in that new story. And it's really important with Leo energy too. this is all about transformation. Stars don't shine unless they have been able to transform the darkness. So how can you take those dark stories and those narratives and use them to have a transformative story? A star is a star because it transforms the darkness. It connects to the field and the feminine energy, and it recreates something. So we can illuminate the darkness and use it as an amplifier to create something beautiful out in the world and to shine brighter, brilliant, radiant human out in the world in this like space-time universe that we're in. So how can you transform to make your star brighter? How can you make your story something that will shine a light to others that have been through something similar? So we can create a story that is motivating to us and getting us to move from a place of more kindness and more delight and more wanting to feel the better things in life. Because Leo actually energy, when it's the most powerful, it is supposed to take in everything, all of life, the light, the darkness, don't really have a filter, but you go through that transformation and you amplify the happiness. At least you amplify the good out of it. You amplify, just the goodness in the world, and what you want to create more of, more beauty, more happiness, more excitement for others, more wanting to uplift everybody else. So say you went through this thing, you just say, yes, I went through this, tragedy. Like my childhood was shitty, sucked ass. We went through every drama ever. But now you're excited to show the world how powerful you are, and that you're going to allow yourself to uplift others and, transform the negative into something really beautiful and really positive. And I like the aspects with this too, because with Uranus, that's very playful. That's very excited. That's where we can really, see different perspectives and, just be a little bit more dynamic with where we were mentally before. And I feel like this Uranus and Gemini can majorly free us, where we were so stuck and stagnant in the past, we can be freed. We can lift ourselves up and decide the new story, the new narrative, the new mentality that we want to have, and be like really, really excited about it. So I love that. And then, this opposition of Pluto, that's just us claiming our voice even more. No filtering, not wanting to be politically correct. It's just more of our raw truth, so we can connect with others that we're really meant to connect with. So we can recognize the rebirth and transformation that we've had maybe with ourselves and our old identity that we put on that was out of survival or out of just fitting the program, out of deciding that we need to do it this way because everyone else is doing it this way, where we can actually get more into our true selves, where we can recognize more of the false realities too. And why people are doing things, and all the sheep are going off the cliff, but you don't actually need to do that. You can recognize your own power to shine, in a more radiant way out in the world. So you can be more in your, more powerful in your true soulful expression. Again, from a place of love at the end of the day, but no agenda, just more authenticity, and that powerful vibration, that authenticity really gets you to, because that is the most powerful vibration. This is our place to really get past all the fears and recognizing where we were leading from fear instead of our heart, so we can claim our voice from our deep divine blueprint, with who we really came here to be, who we came to remember ourselves to be, recognizing more of our higher self, more of our powerful self, especially with the trine to Saturn and Neptune in Aries. We can recognize, our higher self and that more empowered identity that we're really stepping into, and claim our power more so from the field, and more so from unity and compassion and love for everyone, and not being so stuck in the ego and the limited identity. And I do think this is really powerful for manifesting. I think we can really amplify the way that we can visualize, and some people have trouble visualizing. So what helps is putting your hand over your heart and just trying to feel something, to feel anything. And then once you feel something, then it's going to be a lot easier to visualize. So, when you get emotional, like you can kind of unite the mind and the heart and start to visualize more of what you want. And that does, just get you more connected with the mind and the heart. So you can manifest your reality in a more in sync way also. So hand over the heart, because I'm not the best at visualizing either. I think people with water are the best at like really visualizing. But if you have affirmations and then you put your hand over your heart, you can kind of get that nice balance going on. So you can visualize your future and more of what you want to manifest and something that's really meaningful to you, because you can only get in touch with what's really meaningful to you when you do that. So visualize your best relationship, how you want your job to go, how you want whatever in your life to go. So, and that's just a really powerful practice. So you can look at your sun, moon, or rising actually for a really like holistic perspective. So you look at your sun when it comes to career things. It also usually more aligns so with your core identity and your soul calling. And I think this is also a really powerful time, especially with this Mercury retrograde in Leo. We are connecting to that in a really big way. And it connects you to your ability to act with more purpose and direction towards those bigger soulful things. And I guess when you get older too, that's usually when you look to your sun sign more and it resonates more. So like 60 and up. And then look at your moon to see how you're perceiving reality. That's really important actually, because the Vedics or, Vedic astrology, they say that's like more important because how you perceive reality is also how you're manifesting reality. So how you think, how you feel about your life, you want to look to your moon. So you can see where you can be more in alignment. What is bugging you? Maybe that is where you can look at those intuitive pulls to go in a more inspiring direction too. And that really just, it's the anchor of your mind and your perception of this reality, this matrix and Maya that we're in. So, and it gives you more awareness of the story that you're telling yourself, because sometimes we're unaware if we're not really paying attention to our emotions. So it gives you that awareness of that story that we're telling ourselves and what we're really perceiving. So it's really important to look at, I think, especially for manifestations, because that's what gets you into alignment to manifest, more of what you want. And the rising sign. Oh, also, it's also your personal life. So if there's anything going on in your personal life, that's usually, more of where you look. And then your rising sign is the objective reality. It's like people looking at your life, and, that is kind of what they're seeing about your life. So it is pretty good at, predicting events, and it is the most accurate with, events and just what's happening in your life. So anyone out kind of looking in is just seeing what's going on. And that's how, that's how others perceive you moving through life. So when it comes to job changes, when it comes to relationship changes, that's what other people are seeing. And it does more so divine your physical body and your life path and how events are playing out in the material world. Hi, Leo. Okay, so this is important for you because this is all about yourself, your identity, who you are out in the world, and how you represent yourself. And we're going to be going in internally and recognizing how we present ourselves out in the world. And is it truly aligned with who we authentically are at that deeper core level? Because we have done also a lot of internal work and everything. So we're kind of recognizing who we are at that bigger soulful level, less of the mask, less of the ego, less of the feeling the need to perform, or even if we have the ability to perform anymore. So we can, just be more of who we truly authentically are and kind of give less fucks. Because with Pluto in the seventh house, and we're going through a massive shift when it comes to relationships and friends and who we hang out with. So we can align with people that we really align with, and that's kind of the most important thing with Uranus in the 11th house, where we need to connect to those authentic relationships where we can be our weird selves, where we just, don't care. And there's no need to put on a persona or the mask or just the dilly dally, whatever everyone else does. We will find the power with being able to radiate more of our authentic self and follow our strong beliefs out in the world with what story we want to tell the world, and what reality and inspirational story and reality that we really want to live and that we really want to manifest. And I think with certain relationships, now that Pluto's in the seventh, there's an intensity with the one-on-one relationships, and we are seeing who can evolve with us, with our more true, authentic self, and who can't. The way the Leos can be the most powerful in their relationships is to not rely on the relationships. You have to be able to get your own confidence and your own authenticity and your own boosted up sense of self, and rely on you to create that. Pluto and Aquarius, we're dealing with the icebox over here. We're dealing with people that want to stay detached, or they use manipulative tactics, or they are, just even unaware of them, too iced off and just too zoomed in the wrong direction a lot of the time. Leo, we recognize like life and what's enjoyable about life, what makes life truly worth living, and what makes life happy. And it's up to us to really shine our light out to the fullest so we can show these significant relationships more so through love and through compassion, and showing them how it really can be done, and to, get people to live how they really want to live, and to care less about, what the herd is doing and what other people think. So you're going to be able to show them by shining your light, by living out life and showing them how it's done. And that's how they'll see it too. And that's, so whenever you feel like that fear or that need to conform, or that, power game that you just don't want to be a part of, just stay in your own lane, bring it back to your beliefs, speak, more with love and truth, and your authentic truth of what you truly want, what you truly value, and spend more time focusing on that. Time for you to focus on your love, what you love, and what you want to create. Getting more so into your true authenticity and shining your light, and then seeing where things go from there. Because you have the ability to kind of create your reality in a really powerful way, but it depends on what you believe. And it depends on you having that true faith in yourself. And that ballsiness and that confidence to live your life from that deeper soul essence, and from that place of true love for yourself. And yeah, okay, so being true. Speaking of being true, I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or to prove anything. I replace shame with power and of love and truth. Isn't that funny? This came out for me earlier too. I'm a Leo rising. So yeah, you have to, this is a lot of shedding the shame or the guilt or any of the reasons why you dimmed your light. So you can just be confident with who you truly are. And Mercury rules your second house too. So you might be going back and forth with what you truly value, so you can align with that, so you can manifest more of what you value. And money. Okay, in gratitude, I am aware of the light in my life. I direct my thoughts to the beauty in me and around me. I give thanks to God for every little thing that brings me joy. Thus, I enlighten my thoughts, riches that surround me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. Yeah, Leo, you are the most powerful with accepting all of life, the good, the bad, like, and being able to handle it. The sun accepts all of life. It doesn't try to micromanage life. It doesn't try to cut itself off from life. It stays open. It stays shiny. It stays radiant to all that is. And that's when a Leo like dims its light, is when it tries to put up boundaries or control and tries to stay safe. You have to let all of life. And then your power is where you get to your core and you decide to amplify the good, amplify the beauty, amplify more of your authenticity and more of your radiance and more of your charisma and more of just what life is really about. So you can show others what it's about. And then, yeah, this is just going to give you a whole new sense of awareness. Pay attention to the downloads that you're receiving. How can you allow yourself to shine out in the world? How can you allow yourself to be more radiant, to illuminate more of your heart and spread more happiness, joy, and inspiration out into the world? How can you uplift everyone else too by shining your light and recognizing the light in everybody else? And how can you be more of your authentic self out in the world? So some powerful affirmations that I really like is, I allow myself to radiate out in the world. I allow myself to be powerful. I allow myself to be great. I am the best at what I do. And I love simple affirmations because you can robotically affirm, and it just like you just need the simple affirmation and then the universe really does figure out the rest. And I love everybody loves me, because that does attract in, if you affirm everybody loves me, because that attracts in people and clients and friends and relationships or a following even that actually really do love you. So everybody loves me is a powerful way to attract in your people. I do like this one. I am famous. I am a celebrity. And give me a second, because what this does do is allow you to amplify your energy even more so out into the world. It's less about being famous in the way that people were famous back in the fake Matrix era or whatever. We need more celebrities that are coming more so from their true selves in their heart, and they're not putting on a mask or a show or doing the whole song and dance fake thing that celebrities of yesteryear did. We need more authentic, famous people sharing, more of their true stories, and not just the ones just putting on a shiny front and then having a whole hellhole going on like behind them, and then just like hiding all that stuff in the, dark or whatever. So I am famous, I'm a celebrity, and yeah, celebrity status, it is, fame is going to be different in the new era too of the Aquarian age. It is like power to the people and people finding their people by being more authentic. But celebrities really do have more of a magnetic aura that kind of extends out more so to people and to people that can really resonate with them. So if you're an influencer, or if you are trying to get a following or starting a business or whatever, it is powerful to be influential anyway. And I think for Leos specifically, this just gets you more into the aura that is supposed to be bigger and connecting with people, so use it if you want. But I kind of had that light bulb moment and I was like, oh, okay, this, that kind of makes sense. Because a lot of people are afraid of fame, actually, like me, one of them, actually. Like, I've never wanted to really be famous because you're gonna, people are gonna judge or whatever. So not everybody wants to be in the limelight, but if you're choosing to be in, you can choose to be. But yeah, that is the way the, Leo aura can just like amplify, and how you can kind of be more of the highest version of yourself. And then if you want to manifest anything about your love life, because the first house rules your love life, your relationships, definitely you can have those powerful affirmations like, I have the best love life. I am married. I am engaged. They are so in love with me. I only attract in the best relationships, wherever you're at with that. I attract in the best relationships. I attract in the best opportunities. If you want to change your appearance in any way, this is a really powerful time, because I feel like you do this, it just gets you to do the things that help you have more of what you want beauty wise, but also at the same time, there's a lot of power with the mind and the body coherence where you can get manifest, more of what you want in a faster way. Like I've always been delusional with like, oh, my butt's so big. And I swear to God, when I affirm that, like it happens a lot faster. So um whatever you want. I have glass skin, I have big pouty lips, I have the perfect body. I am muscular, I am slim, whatever you want to manifest, you can kind of get that image of what you want your avatar to look like and affirm more of that instead of like being like, oh, like you don't want to, your words are spells. So you don't want to be saying like, oh God, I'm so fat, I got to go to the gym. You got to say like, I have the perfect body, and then go to the gym. And then you get the motivation too. So um, I'm magnetizing the best opportunities and relationships. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. All right. Thank you so much, Leo. Virgo. Okay. So this Mercury retrograde in your 12th house, you are definitely connected to the field in a really big way and getting connected to your heart. The 12th house is all about your subconscious. It's your dreams. It's your higher self. And how can you get more connected to that truer, soulful version of yourself in a very authentic and powerful way? So you can see where you can kind of bring that out into the world. Focusing on passion projects behind the scenes, really paying attention to what truly makes you happy and how you can maybe be bolder and bigger and more radiant out in the world and share your gifts with no fear. Because I like how, Uranus in your 10th house, you can bring them out. It's time for you to bring your authentic gifts out into the world and just be radically you out in the world, more authentically you out in the world. And you can recognize how that'll make you really powerful. That is you being really set up with more of your authentic truth and your true alignment with who you truly are, and broadcasting the frequency that will connect people and opportunities, job opportunities, all to you. So I really, really like that. So it might be good to kind of go within hermit mode a little bit, connect to what's going on within and paying attention to your dreams so you can liberate yourself. You can recognize more of your authentic truth and what wants to come out of you and put that out into the world. And for some of you with this opposition of Pluto, maybe it's recognizing where you have been pushing too hard with work and where you need to kind of get back into yourself, and where you can work smarter, not harder, especially when you are more so in alignment with your authentic truth and who you truly are. You can work from a place with, more towards those deeper soulful desires, because Pluto is about going after those deeper soulful desires, but making sure you're setting up the boundaries and everything in certain relationships. And with Saturn and Neptune, you got to have boundaries with who you work with, either co-collaborators or business partners, who you're investing your time and your energy in, who you're merging with emotionally, sexually, financially, paying attention to what feels really authentic to you and getting into alignment with that. This could also be just releasing a lot of past life karma too. So maybe there's really weird dreams and everything. So you release any random cycles that aren't meant for you anymore. And you just come to that awareness. So it's facing a lot of the shadow. When you recognize the shadow, there's always a gift in the shadow. And maybe you're recognizing, the truth of your past or whatever, where you can get more in alignment with that, recognize like who you are now and how you can write your story now. And recognize when you do that, more self-love is going to begin, and more of those authentic conversations can happen in your relationships. When you get your conversations right with yourself and you're really being, true to yourself, you can have those conversations and, really just get into alignment with what you truly want, because that's what you're doing with the 10 of Cups. Coming out, you're getting aligned with soul family and abundance and romance, and yeah, just those true soulmate connections that really resonate with you, that are on your same frequency and everything. Okay, so Virgo, some powerful affirmations for the 12th house. You allow yourself to be great. You are so connected to your higher self and so connected to that guidance. My intuition is powerful. You can use that affirmation and your intuition will amplify, because you just believe, you strengthen that connection, and it just happens. It's kind of crazy. So I received that powerful guidance to make the most aligned shifts out in the world, with clarity, with precision, because you're changing your identity with this too. Mercury retrograde in your 12th, you're connecting to that higher self and making those bigger, impactful shifts with the identities and roles that you're stepping into now, especially since the South Node is in your sign. You're releasing a lot of roles and identities and ways of being. So you can step into this higher version of yourself now too. So I allow myself to be powerful by being authentic. I magnetize in opportunities that will expand me into my highest timeline and into my highest path and into my most authentic route in the easiest way possible and maybe in the most fun way possible. All right, Virgo. Yeah, this is a very, very exciting. And I think this is just really, a powerful clearing up of the subconscious so you can be directed on your most aligned path and shifting into that higher identity out in the world to go after and receive all those opportunities that are really meant for you. What else was I going to say? Yeah, you would think sometimes by 12th house, it's all about releasing, but I think it is more powerful to connect to more of your desires and affirm for that versus affirming the bad to go away. You want to be focusing on the positive and affirming those bigger, grand dreams and visions, and being open to receiving them. All right. Thank you so much, Virgo. Hi, Libra. So you're going through a big realignment when it comes to your friends, your groups, your networks. Who do you connect with? The 11th house is also social media. And how can you maybe have a more authentic presence out in the world that truly connects with those like-minded people that are really meant for you to connect with? And because Uranus over here is just opening up new perspectives, new beliefs, it's making you excited about, life and just different world views and adventure. And the more that you can kind of open up your mind to what the world has to offer in different belief systems, I think you can find people that are resonating with the direction that you're going in. But this is also just freeing you a lot. With Uranus going into the 9th house, you're getting connected to a freer timeline, how you can get onto your higher timeline. Did I say that? Freer timeline, whatever. How you can jump onto that more expansive dharmic timeline, which Dharma is all about, evolving out of karma, so you can live a life that is free and fun and expansive and liberating and more in alignment with who you authentically are. So there's a lot of power with just freeing yourself, freeing your mind, freeing yourself from any limiting stories, so you can connect with the right people in the right relationships, because you might be going through a shift with significant relationships too, with all this new energy happening in your relationship houses. With Saturn and Neptune in your 7th house, you're really deciding who you're done with when it comes to serious relationships, who you're maybe moved on from. You got to evolve out of any of these lower, denser karmic cycles and become aware of them, so you can, create a life that is just out of self-love. And with Pluto over here, it's kind of like, what do you truly love? What do you desire? And you're going to be going through that deeper evolution and deeper realizations with what you really love. So maybe there is a deep desire to express yourself in some way, to put your art out into the world, which you should be doing something creative with Pluto in the fifth. You should be expressing yourself in some way. You should be going through that evolution so you can show the world more of who you truly are. And I think that can get you connected with the right relationships too. There might be a back and forth, like what the group wants to do for fun versus what you want to do for fun. I suggest you do what you want to do for fun and then see who is really aligning with that. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, you're just getting aligned with destiny in a big way. Okay, so a lot coming to the surface when it comes to the subconscious and maybe secrets coming to light. But this is really aligning you more on your destiny timeline. It's liberating you in some way, and it's going to give you a lot of spiritual strength. So definitely rely on the spiritual strength with, what's aligned with your heart. What's leading you? Where is your heart calling you versus where is your mind calling you? Because sometimes the mind does lead us in the wrong direction. So we need to get into our heart and really feel what we want. Less logic pulling it out, because our heart really knows. Our heart and our emotions will tell us what feels good. That is our soul kind of pointing us in the right direction. And yeah, that'll be a direction that does release you from, oops, we don't need any more of this. The devil that came out, the codependent relationships, or just the karmic cycles when it comes to relationships that you're done with. So you get in alignment with these bigger hopes and dreams and visions for the future, and that you're surrounded by people that are bold and charismatic and want to uplift. It's a really powerful time for you to get aligned in a whole new way with your hopes and your dreams and your visions for the future, more so from that heart place and from your soulful self. Because when you're manifesting your hopes and your dreams and your future from your heart and from that deeper core of who you are, they will come a lot faster and they will come in a lot easier. So get into that heart resonance of what you want to attract into your field, whether it's people, whether it's opportunities, maybe just a boost on social media. You can really amplify that with this Mercury retrograde and have those major mindset shifts. So powerful affirmations for you is affirming the story that you want to manifest with your hopes and your dreams. It is easy for me to achieve my dreams. I have the best co-collaborations. I have the best friends that pump me up and uplift me and bring inspiration. And we share ideas to co-collaborate and make the biggest impact out on the world. I have the best friends. Let's see, I am super intuitive, actually. I like that because the 11th house, we can receive major just like downloads to really break us out of the box in such a random way, by a random connection, a random opportunity, but you can just receive that idea to go in the right direction to make all your dreams happen. So I am super intuitive is really helpful, and you can receive a really powerful idea to create. I attract in the best opportunities. I am famous and I always go viral. If you do want to go viral, if you have a social media account, just say my YouTube channel is rapidly expanding. I have so many followers, like I am monetized. I have 100K subscribers, whatever you want to manifest with that, because this is the area of social media. And when you do have a following and when you do have a bigger platform, then you can make your hopes and dreams happen also. So don't be afraid to affirm, I am famous. Everybody loves me. I am attracting such a strong following, and we all inspire each other. Let's see. I am famous and I always go viral. And yeah, just my channel is growing rapidly, or my Instagram account or my TikTok, whatever you want to start to grow rapidly, is the best way possible. All right. Thank you so much, Libra. All right, Scorpio. So this is you getting into alignment with your 10th house, which is your career. It's your long-term goals. It's who you are out in the world. It's the mountain you want to climb, just who you want to be out in the world. What is your legacy? And, who's with you, who's aligning with you with that. So maybe, this is where you decide to change, direction with where you're going long term. This could be a time of just some work delays and everything, but with every delay, just recognize that's usually, for, to make something better, to make something just, more with how it's supposed to be. So definitely don't push too hard at work. Recognize this time to go back, reevaluate, align things with the heart. I'll also at the same time see how you can kind of radiate more of who you are, because the 10th house can be leadership. And how can you step into that leadership role with more authenticity, with more of your soulful truth, and no need to convince anyone? The more that you can stand in your own authenticity and more of your true authentic power with who you truly are, like not feeling like you need to convince, not feeling like you need to persuade anyone or anything. I think, just people seeing the truth of someone just speaking their mind and just saying what they want to say, giving it to people straight. And I think people will really appreciate that. So Scorpio, ask yourself, how can you embody more of your greatness, more of your authenticity and the radiance of your true core soul essence with less fear and more expansion and just more willing to be brilliant and a light out in the world to create a better world and create more radiance for all. And how can you just lead with your heart more into those expansive opportunities or businesses or dreams and goals in the easiest way possible? So powerful affirmations are, I allow myself to be great. I am the best at what I do. This is really powerful because it's kind of like you just say that you are the best at what you do. And it's like you download all the information to be the best at what you do. And it just like allows you to be the best at what you do. And I allow myself to be great. That kind of removes all the blocks that were holding you back from being great. I allow myself to be powerful. I allow myself to radiate my true authentic self, to be on my most aligned path out on the world. I am magnetic to the best opportunities. I am famous. If you want to be famous, if you want to kind of develop a business or, develop a following or live out your dreams that way, you can be famous. You can just affirm, I am now famous, and, become famous and gain a following and blow up on social media. My channel is growing rapidly. If you want your YouTube channel or your TikTok or your Instagram, I am growing followers rapidly. I am growing a following that loves me, and we inspire each other, and I inspire and uplift everyone. Everybody loves me. That is powerful too, because then you attract people more into your orbit that really do love you, and you guys can co-collaborate together. I am an inspiring leader. I am so happy. I make so much money doing what I love. That is a really powerful one too. So if you want to do what you love and you want to make money, just affirm that over and over and over again until you start making bank. But powerful money affirmations are really good for this too. I create $500 a day. I create $1,000 a day. Money is easy for me to make. I easily manifest money out of thin air, like whatever. The 10th house, you can kind of manifest anything. This is also the house of marriage, so you can affirm for your relationships. I have the best relationships. We are getting married. I am so happily married. They treat me so well. They cherish the ground I walk on. Whatever you want to manifest in a relationship, you can definitely do it with that too. Let's see, what else? I am successful. I am the best at what I do. And yeah, if you don't even know what you want to do, you can just say, I am the best at what I do. And that'll kind of align you on the path where you can be the best at what you do and live out your best life from your heart. All right. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Hi, Sagittarius. So this is happening in your ninth house, which has to do with your beliefs. It has to do with higher knowledge, the way you view the world. And knowledge is power. The more that you can expand into more knowledge and more world views, the more powerful you will be. With Leo ruling the ninth house, I do think it's really powerful to be open to all views, all religion, always different, ways, different like knowledge branches, and seeing more oneness in everything, because that's how you can have that discernment with what should be amplified, what is really true, and kind of getting that resonance from your soul of what's true and what's true to you. So you can amplify the good in whatever religion or whatever belief system, whatever way of viewing the world that is the most powerful to you. So you can kind of show others, what, like, just a more loving, unifying way of seeing the world. Because, especially since the ways religion has been weaponized in modern history to create more division and to kind of shape a certain narrative to get people on different sides of things. Sagittarius is always really more powerful with seeing the oneness and gaining that knowledge themselves. You guys are the seekers. You go and seek different, places to live, different ways of seeing the world, different knowledge branches. So you can find the narrative that is actually true and see, at the core of every religion, like if you go really deep, they are pretty much all the same. They all do have the same principles. It's just getting past all the stuff where stuff was like tweaked, to, for the benefit of whatever narrative at the time. Like there's one, are shamans bad, really? Are they? Or is that actually from Dante's Inferno, a story just taken from then and just kind of put into that little section? So by Saint Constantine. So people would just stay on the due diligent path of following this book to the T and honoring that version of honoring God. There's just certain ways that things were tweaked like that, where you can find the deeper truth in the core of things to have that transformation with beliefs out in the world. And find that belief system or religion or way of viewing the world that is in high vibration, because Sagittarius is our natural transformers of vibration too. So I think the best religions are just high vibration. They're trying to do good. It is out of love and unconditional love. It's not about being judgmental or dividing or degrading anybody. Is it supporting you to be uplifted and optimistic and excited about living life and excited about living the story that you really want to live? Is it opening your heart? And that is where you can get into the most alignment. Goodness. Oh, I love this that came out. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. So yeah, this is where you can kind of get aligned with that true heart-centered goodness. So you can rewrite any stories. What limiting beliefs did you have that you can release so you can align with philosophies and stories and a bigger vision of what you want to manifest now? Because when you get an alignment here, you can manifest your best reality in the best way. And with Pluto in the third house, it's really important to transform your mindset. So having powerful beliefs can transform your mindset. I also think robotically affirming is super powerful with this. And yeah, you just can rewrite your story that is more from a place of lifting you up to be the best version of yourself. And it's shifting you and it's opening up your heart and it's making you more kind and generous to others in the world. And it's lifting everybody up. And then Seven of Wands came out. So yeah, just beliefs where you felt like you had to defend yourself. You're just, the more that you kind of get into your own beliefs, I think the more power that you can have and just live them out authentically. Know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And as long as you're truly aligned with your meaning and purpose and it resonates with the core of who you are and that you're amplifying the good out into the world, that's all you need. You don't need to impress anybody else. And the Lovers came out. So strong relationships can definitely come in. I think this is a master manifesting moon, Mercury retrograde. You can balance the mind out with the heart and really get into the truth of who you're meant to attract into your life. So definitely spend some time meditating and visualizing if you want to attract love into your life. Love definitely wants to come into your life. If you want to attract more money or the right opportunities or the right relationships even to work with or collaborate with or the right clients, I think this can be a powerful time to get into alignment with all of that and reset your beliefs and your mindset to attract all of the abundance in. Oh, with the Seven of Wands that came out though, sometimes you could get in like debates or something, with this going on, but recognize that's the ego and that's the ego trying to win. Say my way of believing is better. This way is better. This political ideology is better. That's just a way that we all get stuck in our ego. And that's a way we get divided. And, it's very isolating and it's like so ingrained in us to defend our point of view and attack one another. But the more we can have belief systems that keep us open and understanding and sharing ideas and collaborating and expanding on those ideas, that is the most powerful evolutionary way. Sagittarius, it's time to have powerful beliefs that get you going towards your big visions and your big dreams to manifesting your best life. And the best way to do this is by robotically affirming, because a belief just turns into, or the way you think on a daily basis is what turns into beliefs. So you can rewire this by robotically affirming until those become your beliefs. And it really, really does work too. If you robotically affirm something enough, you just assume it now. And that's just what happens. So, robotically affirm anything. If you want to affirm a relationship, I have the best relationships. They love me so much. I am attracting in the love of my life. They give me everything I want. They love talking to me. We are getting married. We are getting engaged, anything like that. If you want to manifest money, just say, I am so happy. I make so much money from doing what I love. It is easy for me to make money. It is easy for, or I make this much a day. I make $500 a day. I make $1,000 a day. It is easy for me to manifest money. I manifest money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. So you can do those. And then if you want to manifest your goals and your manifestations in an easier way too, because some people just think it's hard to manifest. You just say, it is easy for me to manifest. I easily achieve all my goals and my hopes and my dreams and my visions. It is so easy for me. Everything comes so naturally. If you want to learn something too, actually, like you just say, I am so good at Spanish, even because I've been learning Spanish lately. And before I do the lessons, I affirm for 10 minutes, like, I'm so good at Spanish. I'm so good. I know Spanish, actually. I know Spanish. And literally I boosted up so many levels and I just know Spanish somehow. I don't know how I know, but it's like you download the information that you need to be the best at whatever you want to do. I also I'm the best at what I do. And that kind of just gets you in your own natural sync of being the best at what you do and knowing what you need to know and doing all the things that, makes it possible for you to be the best at what you're doing. I create the best works of art. I create the best love stories. I create, I create money out of thin air. I like saying I create money too, or my actions create money. My actions are always aligned with my hopes and my dreams and goals. Anything like that. Anything else? I think that's it. Yeah, just anything like that. Any powerful affirmation. This is a master reset of your reality so you can have really firm beliefs to manifest anything that you want. All right. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Hi, Capricorn. So this is happening in your 8th house, which isn't always the most comfortable house, because the 8th house does deal with debt, taxes, fears, insecurities. It's usually the area of life that we explore and we find out a fear or shame or guilt or something, like some deeper emotion that's not letting us like share who we truly are and share our gifts with the world. So this is kind of maybe a deep dive, into your shadow with, who you authentically are and getting into that core of your heart and seeing where you can transform any of those denser emotions, whether it is shame or guilt, or fears, or just look at the vibrational scale, anything low, pride even, where you can transform, any of that for more love, for more openness, for more understanding for yourself, mainly like for, self-love and loving your shadow and finding the gift in the shadow, but also love for others. If anyone did you wrong, if you stopped being a certain way because your elementary school teacher in the past did you wrong, like this is your opportunity to burn it away, forgive, release, set yourself free from it, because it's not doing anybody any good. Because this can be very, very healing to the core of your being. With Saturn and Neptune in the 4th house, you're really getting in touch in a whole new way with the core of yourself and who you truly are. And letting that fire kind of burn with like where you held yourself back from being that full authentic self, where you can just truly believe in your being, who you came here to be, and how you can, amplify the bar with the good, how you can like turn up the dial, so you can be more of you with, being unapologetic, knowing whatever you've overcame, when it comes to home and family and the deep, deep past, where you can, find the story to tell and recognize your ability to transform so you can have a more powerful story to share, or just for you. Either way, this is going to set you free. Whenever there's a transit happening in the 8th house, you can, burn away the resentment, the guilt, any of those emotions, and it sets you free. You just give yourself permission to be more of who you are, and you liberate yourself. You don't have any of those blocks or constraints, and you're finding more of that path to light. So the path to light came out. I make I love this too. That's pretty. I make the conscious choice to move forward toward the light, one step at a time. I transform my weakness into strength by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. I love that for you. Oh my gosh. So this is where you're also recognizing maybe the ways you have been in relationships so far, because the 8th house is how we merge with people financially, sexually, psychologically. And this is a major release of that. So you can really transform everything into light. So you can have less mental conflict with what you truly want at that deeper level. And there could be ways that you are leading in relationships out of fear or, holding yourself back or even clinging to somebody, that you can see that when you are more of your authentic self and loving all parts of yourself, how you can be more powerful in the relationships. And not need that validation from anybody else besides yourself. Because yeah, I think you having these breakthroughs too can set you up with work and an everyday routine and health routines that really free you, that feel very authentic to you. So you can be more of who you are out in the world and just say, like, yeah, just have a lot more freedom. And then going after what you truly desire with Pluto in the second house, that's a back and forth with like money and who you're merging with, and having those honest conversations. If you need to merge with somebody else in a different way, having those conversations about money. But also this is majorly releasing major money fears too. So yeah, maybe you never thought that you could start a business or do what you really love for work, but Pluto says you can actually be really powerful with doing what you love for work, and you can be intensely focused on that, and you will find the value, have a transformation with your values, so you're aligning with what you truly value versus what society values. So yeah, Eight of Wands, I think going through this clearing will really help you, set you free. It'll get you out of any mental conflict. This is also like a reintegration of your soul and all parts of yourself. So you can get in tune with that bigger vision of what you want to manifest. And then, once you're cleared out here, clearing out all the dense emotions and any of the blocks, then you just know, you can do it, and you can be free with doing it. You'll be able to have more light kind of integrated in you. And yeah, you can create the reality that you want to create and be magnetic towards it. That's what I meant to say. Because this is the area of life when we go through the shadow and love all parts of ourselves too. This is what makes us really magnetic to everything that we really want. Whether it is a relationship or a job or whatever. All right, Capricorn. So the most powerful way that you can work with this Mercury retrograde, and instead of focusing on the fears, you want to be focusing on your deeper desires, because this is the house of fears, but it's just where we suppress our fears. So we suppress our desires. So you recognize your deeper desires of what you really want, so you can manifest more of that. This is really powerful to affirm, I am a magnet to all my desires. I bring light to my shadow, and I love all parts of myself. I am a magnet to the highest loving relationships. I have the best relationships. I have the best business partnerships. I make so much money doing what I love. I make large sums of money that constantly flow into my bank account. I have the best health. I am so healthy and radiant and vibrant, and just powerful money affirmations, because this is the 8th house. So I create $500 a day. I create thousands a day. It is easy for me to manifest money. I can manifest money out of thin air. I've always had a great relationship with money. I get paid to be myself. I make so much money. I am a money magnet. I am worthy of financial security. I am financially free. That is really, really powerful. I have the best relationships. Everyone loves my true, deep, authentic core of my being. Yeah, that's, really, really powerful. And I think instead of focusing so much on the fears, you focus on your desires, and you can really, really massively liberate yourself. All right. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Hi, Aquarius. Okay, so this Mercury retrograde happening in your 7th house, you're going to be going back and forth with your relationships, and there might be miscommunication or a misperception, a different way of seeing things that they're seeing that you're seeing, and there might be delays before you move forward. And the seventh house is any one-on-one relationship. It's clients, it could be business partners, it could be your loved ones, your friends, like professional, like home, family, whatever, any one-on-one relationship. There is a way that you're kind of transforming, having a transformation with yourself and recognizing your true power to create the reality that you want to create and have those deeper, honest conversations in your significant relationships. How do you view relationships? What kind of relationship do you want? And this is, just how can you be more of that authentic version of you that with Uranus in the fifth house, that is more creatively expressive and just more authentic with how you want to be loved and how you want love. And just getting really into alignment with that. You can have the best relationships. You just have to, have those honest conversations and really be firm with what you want, be authentic with what you want, and show more of your true radiant self out into the world so you can connect with the right relationships that are fun and joyful and exciting and that appreciate the true authentic you. So you can definitely go back and forth between the mind and the heart and see how you've perceived relationships in the past and maybe let go of any of the old stories of how you thought relationships had to be so you can have the relationships and the authentic communication and just relationships that align with the more powerful authentic version of you. So you want more peace and everything turns into light, especially with Mars that crossed the South Node. Maybe you're releasing a lot of the fears and a lot of the codependencies and the ways of attaching in relationships. And Mercury that rules your fifth house and your eighth house too. There's definitely ways that you can release, be more in touch with your shadow. So you can love all parts of yourself. You don't feel the need to attach in relationships. You don't feel the need to control the narrative or anything. Just know that you being more of your authentic self out in the world is what will attract in these really powerful relationships. So you can have a renewal and faith and belief and have the narrative about relationships that will be empowering to you, that will attract in the relationships. Because your story about relationships matters, that is what you will attract in. So do you have good relationships? Have that narrative. If relationships always suck, that's what you'll be attracting in. So this is all about you getting into alignment with your true destiny and fated partnerships that are really meant for you. With the 10 of Cups, I love that came out, soul family, strong soulmate connections and divine counterpart connections that are really aligned with you. Maybe you're getting emotional during this Mercury retrograde too, by shedding a lot of the deeper past, of ways that relationships didn't work out. But now you can get into that deeper core of yourself and tell a story about what you're going to experience in the future. Because when you get into the heart, your heart, what you're going to experience and that powerful love that you're going to experience. And it's all about shifting yourself to that higher timeline, that more powerful perspective of who you're magnetizing into your life. So peace came out. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. Yeah, you can attract relationships in that are just so aligned with your inner peace. when you release all the stories of like being in relationships out of like acting a certain way, or suppressing this part of yourself, or acting in any ways that caused you more anxiety, actually, instead of just aligning with who you deeply authentically are. You can have that transformation. So, and everything turns to light. I work to improve myself, embrace all that life brings to me, and transforms the darkness into light. I allow myself to grow and become stronger. So know that you becoming stronger and you recognizing more of your like true authentic power will also bring in these really strong relationships and co-collaborators and business partnerships and clients that resonate with your new frequency, because you are definitely upping your frequency right now with Uranus in the fifth house. You're getting back into your inner child. You're getting back into your play and your fun and wanting to be liberated out in the world. Authenticity is your true superpower. You having more fun, you having more confidence, joy, self-expression, and creating out in the world, and being bolder with it, just being more authentic with it, being the black sheep, not fitting in with the crowd, is how you will have your powerful evolution and how you will magnetize relationships to you. Because Pluto magnetizes or repels, and if you're acting out of any shame or guilt or lower vibrations, then you will attract that in. So somebody comes in to face off with you, so it triggers that stuff out of you. But if you are leading from this place of more self-love, more creativity, more willingness to shine and be powerful out in the world, then you're going to attract people into your life that will really boost that up. It's time for you to reset when it comes to your relationships and the story that you have been telling yourself, so you can clean the frequency of who you've been attracting, so you can attract in those higher relationships. Powerful affirmations for the seventh house, and you want to affirm it until you believe it. Don't pay attention to the fears or the old narratives or the old stories. Pay attention to the story that you want to create. I am so lucky. I am so happily married. They love me so much. They love to spoil me. My significant other gives me everything I want. They are so attentive. They are so compassionate. They are so loving. And you can even say this in your current relationship, and it can rework the current relationship. They love talking to me. They are so affectionate. I am so happy that I am engaged now. If you want to get engaged, I am so happily married. I love my spouse so much. We have the best love story. Any powerful affirmations during this Mercury retrograde can rewrite that story that you want to experience, that is true to your heart, and you can get out there and attract it into your orbit. All right, thank you so much, Aquarius. Hi, Pisces. Okay, so this is happening in your sixth house, and the sixth house is your work, it's your diets, it's your routines, it's your exercise. And there might be stalls or delays when it comes to your work. There might be just a way you restructure your everyday life in a way that feels just better to you. Having your frequency high is the most important thing when it comes to work and everything that you're doing in life, because when you are at a high frequency, you get more of your own energy, you get more inspiration, you can just work in a better way. So definitely set your work from a place of creating more fun, having a work and people that you work with that do that the people that you're surrounded with at work do lead to more confidence and more inspiration and even more fun and even more play, because I think that'll help you realize like how you can work smarter and in more creative capacities versus harder. But this is definitely how you can maybe develop new routines and habits that will really serve you and are from that place of self-love, because Uranus in the fourth house, you could be shaken loose from a lot of stuff from the past and karmic cycles that you want to break out of that have been in the family for a while, but you're going to be the black sheep that kind of elevates, beyond that. So you can have a more authentic path that is really going to serve you. And so you can care for yourself more, and maybe so you can have work that you truly love that allows you to be creative and allows you to create that reality that you really want to create. Know know that you will be the most powerful when you are more of your authentic self, when you are shining at work, when you are radiating more of who you are, and you aren't holding back. It is all about authenticity. Don't feel like you need to persuade or convince anybody, that you really do just need to be bold and align with work in a daily life that is really lighting you up. So I think there was ways that, yeah, maybe you just weren't even, oh yeah, and yeah, you are meant to align with creative work. Realize that magical money can come into your life, with Neptune and Saturn in the second house, but you have to take your dreams seriously with what you want to do and what you truly value, and getting really clear with that. So you can align with work that, you don't mind, putting all your time and your energy into. And it is just really aligned with your heart and your soul and what you feel like you're maybe here to do, so you can make the most abundance, and have the everyday life flow that is abundant, and that is all about you, like honoring home and family and money in all aspects of your life. So this is a great time to change your narrative about work and what it has to be. So you can say, I make money in the most joyous way possible. I have the best health. I have the best body. When you affirm that you have the best body, actually, it does help you like create the best body. I tried that for a little bit, and it's almost like a mental shift with your mind, but also it helps you manifest the body, a lot faster. So just say, you have the best body, you have the best health, you have the best routines, and, that will help you create routines that are fun, that make you more magnetic to the work and the everyday life, that can come to you really effortlessly. Yeah, base chakra, you're definitely shaking out of old beliefs and limiting mindsets that you had possibly from childhood. It is about working smarter and in a more creative capacity and not harder. And then getting clear about what you truly want, because there could be a lot of opportunities and a lot of confusion with work. But when you get into alignment with what you really value, and you're very authentic with yourself and the core of who you truly are and how you want to shine out in the world and how you want to radiate, and the people that you want to co-collaborate with, when you get to that true core and essence of who you truly are, you will attract the right work opportunities and the right people to work with to you. So action, my divine action incites love and a harmony. And I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart. My desire to manifest light transforms tests into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. So I think, sixth house can be sometimes where we get the heavy duty work and where we do get a test. And the more that you can see the optimism with it, I think the more you can free yourself from it, because the sixth house is also karma. So if you see the optimism with it, and if you have more love and harmony and compassion, I think you can find a lot of transformation, a lot of release of any subconscious fears and any ways that you were just stuck in a linear way of manifesting, that can make things a little bit more quantum, where you can tap into just love and the abundance and the universal way that you can attract an opportunity that will really free you, and goodness. So I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadows into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. Yeah, so this is kind of leading you more into your heart so you can be more of service to others from your heart with just knowing that everybody comes into your life for a reason, and the more that you can actually serve people from the heart, it'll transform other people's shadow. So balancing out the mind and the heart when it comes to being of service to people, when it comes to working, that will show you how you can manifest your reality in a better way. And how when you amplify your good qualities, then everything is just easier too. All right, thank you so much, Pisces. Hi, Aries. Okay, so this Mercury retrograde is happening in your 5th house, which has to do with, what you love, how you love. It's your fun, it's your creativity, it's how you play, it's how you get in touch with that inner child and how you enjoy things. And this is all about how can you be more liberated with that? How can you be more authentic with your self-expression and your fun and not hold yourself back, like not try to dim your light from having too much fun just because, I don't know, you care about what people think or whatever. Like just enjoy what you want to enjoy and enjoy it to the fullest extent. And how you can find a lot of liberation with that. And with this Mercury retrograde, you can change a lot of your stories and perspectives about love, how you've perceived love so far. How can you be more authentic with your heart and, your inner truth with how you want to be loved and what love stories are you magnetizing into your life? Because it's more, you can definitely go through a big release. If you haven't been attracting in the best relationships, you can release any of those stories with love and how you think it should go. And if it's hasn't served you so far, this is your time to set love stories that are very empowering, and you are magnetizing in your best relationship. They love you so much. You are attracting in your soulmate, and they are so aligned because you definitely have big shifts happening with your community and your like who you connect with, societal, who you just connect with on a daily basis. And this is your opportunity to really magnetize someone in that is just aligned with who you authentically are. With Pluto in the 11th house, it's less about the groups and, following the group and whatever they want to do and whatever they think is enjoyable. This is where you get in touch with your passion and your excitement. And one sec. Okay, wait, Vimmy wants out. This is just where you could have a big heart opening where you're just putting more of your authentic self out in the world and seeing who really connects with you. And, maybe not everybody likes it. Not everybody has to like it. But as long as you're radiating from your heart and your soul and who you truly are, then that will be the most empowering for you. Because this is also recognizing your ability to create. And when you create from the heart and you're creating from your soul, that will always be the most powerful, whether it is art or music or, creative ideas for your business, or social media, wherever you really, can liberate more of your true self by creating, what you truly want to create from your heart, from your soul. That will always be the most magnetic, and that will always be the most powerful. And the more that you can get into this creative energy and your natural charisma, that automatically will attract the best relationships into your life. And because the 5th house gives you a lot of confidence when you get into your passions or your interests or, you know, whatever you're creating and whatever makes you boosted up and uplifted and charismatic and you're authentic to that, that just like boosts you up all the way, you know? So know that this is a powerful time of creating and maybe releasing any of the blocks that stopped you from creating and expressing yourself in a really authentic way, you know, whether it is like in your creations or in your relationships. The more you just express more of your authentic self from with no agenda, just more devotion to your heart and to the core of who you truly are, then you will manifest the best reality for you. And it'll make you more electric. It'll make you more magnetic to what's really meant for you. Okay, so serenity. Through love, release, and inner work, I know peace. I have a gentle view of life, and I welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. Okay, so yeah, this looks like, you know, if you are doing social media things or connecting to a bigger group or network, or really focus on achieving your dreams and goals, you can have this nice mind-heart connection with it and release a lot of the fears with how you will be perceived out in the world or how your friends will perceive things. And it will give you more confidence. The more you just take action towards your creative creations, and the more that you're just expressing yourself from the heart, it does give you more confidence and it does help you release any of the fears. Because with Uranus in the third house too, you're meant to be receiving a lot of ideas, you know, when it comes to just whatever. Like you could be wherever your focus is, you can receive a lot of just very innovative ideas and have really a powerfully authentic, truthful voice to attract in more of your tribe and more of who you're supposed to be connecting with. Yeah, because it's all about you and your vision. The King of Swords came out. So you having a practical vision with those big dreams and desires that you want to manifest. So powerful affirmations for the fifth house. I only magnetize in the best relationships that are fun, that are exciting, that are inspiring to me, that we co-collaborate together. I am attracting in the love of my life. It is going to get so serious so fast. We're going to get married. They love every single part of me. You can rewrite anything when it comes to your love story and the love story you want to experience. If you want to attract in co-collaborators when it comes to your creative projects, I am attracting in the most inspiring people to work with. But also this is where you can allow yourself to radiate out in the world. So I allow myself to radiate out in the world. I allow myself to be powerful. I allow myself to be great. I allow my natural charisma to just radiate out into the world. And that makes everything really fun and easy and helps attract in all the best opportunities to me. Yeah, so that's really powerful. If you've been having a hard time with creative ideas, just say, I am directly connected to source and all the ideas are constantly flowing to me. Anything like that. Powerful affirmations for whatever you want to work on in this area. All right. Thank you so much, Aries. Hi, Taurus. So this is all about revising your home. Home is where the heart is, and you're getting in alignment with, you know, a home that really serves the core of your being and the core of your heart and the core of what you really want as a foundation. And this is internally too, you know, you releasing yourself from any you know, stories or narratives or past family cycles or karma that you can really release. So you can get more in tune with your light. This is a great time to transform any of the darkness of your past So you can have those, transform the narrative. So you can have that family and foundation that is happy, that is joyous, that does recognize the dark, but you don't need to stay in the dark. You can transform the darkness into light and create a narrative that really will help you create a beautiful family and foundation, that you truly, deserve. And I think by you getting in alignment with, the core of who you are, and maybe going through that shedding, getting really in tune with, your higher self, and and having really deep emotional awareness too, will get you into alignment with what you truly authentically value, and make you really powerful out in the world too. Because with Pluto, you need, strong, deep roots to, really just be very deep, when it comes to your foundation. So you can branch out, the highest heights possible out into the world. So it's kind of like a back and forth with that. You're creating a solid foundation that will truly last, and is, just where you can go back to for just more home and more comfort, and, to people that are aligned with you. And maybe it is just, home, not necessarily family members, but it can be soul family, even if, that has to be the case. We wouldn't always want that to be the case, but sometimes that has to be the case. But you're really getting aligned with your heart and having a heart opening. The King of Cups came out. So you want a foundation that's full of love and compassion, and more in alignment with your higher self and your vision of how you're seeing your future. Because King of Cups came out, look at this King of Cups getting a vision. You are receiving guidance from the other side in a very easy way right now. And I think that can lead you in the right direction with creating a very solid foundation that will really, serve you. That is releasing of the past and any chains or karmic family, stories, narratives, or ties that have been weighing you down. This is like a big internal release, so you can be just very solid with the core of who you truly are, and have more of that life force flow. This is really setting you up so you have a lot more vitality, so you can live at the core of who you are with more an open heart, and more love, and more compassion, and more inspiration, and ready to seize the day, and to, create how you want to create out in the world. Yeah. Base chakra, you're planting really deep roots, and, there's a lot of freedom through faith. So I think, just Neptune Saturn is really speaking loudly over here in the 12th house. So freedom through faith. I calm my thoughts and rise above fear. I free myself from all doubt and entrust my doubts to God. I have faith in God's perfect timing and placement. I trust his will and find freedom. So, there is a lot of back and forth with, like, where do you live? Do you need to move for a career? Who do you really want to be out in the world? And there is a bigger aspect that is kind of faded, where it does help to just have faith and trust in the bigger plan, in the universe, more of that heart connection with your higher self. So, you're really connected to that voice within yourself, and that knowing within yourself that really knows where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go, who you're supposed to connect with, and it feels good. It feels aligned with you. In vitality, I am a being of light. I accept the divine energy in my body, and every one of my cells regenerate. So yeah, this looks like a major shedding, of who you have been in the past, the identities that you've taken on before that don't really serve you anymore. So you can step into that identity that is really truest to you. And so you can be the ultimate creator of your reality. And so you can shine from the inside out. And when you can do that, people definitely recognize it. People know when you go in and do the shadow work and recognize more of who you truly are at that core level. And when you can radiate more of that love and compassion, and have a family and foundation that serves you, not necessarily the family that you were born into, and that you are so solid with that. And you're so solid with really listening to the voice within yourself. That gives you real, true like liberation, in this life. So definitely get into the core of who you are and listening to your emotions and having that mind heart resonance so you can create the reality and magnetize in the best reality for you. You can have a home and family that loves your confidence in the way you express yourself and is boosting up your gifts and your authenticity and allowing you to be bold. But you're getting aligned with that deeper truth within, with how you want to live. And, so you can really manifest that into your reality. All right. Thank you so much, Taurus. So powerful affirmations that you can have for the fourth house is my home is so luxurious. I am living where I really want to live. I love my environment. I love my neighbors. I have the best, close, familial, supportive relationships that help nurture me and comfort me and inspire me to go do powerful things out in the world. And you can affirm any of those things so you can, transform that into, and you can affirm all of that so you can create just a solid home and foundation for yourself. If you need help getting in touch with that core of yourself too, just say, I have received guidance so strongly and so impactfully. It is I do not mistake it. I hear it loud and clear, the answers that are coming from my heart. All right. Thank you so much, Taurus. Hi, Gemini. Okay. So the third house, I think, is a very important area of life now that I know about manifestation, because these are your thoughts on a daily basis. This is the way you communicate. This is the way you think. This is the way you write, the way you speak. And your words are spells and your thoughts are, electric. So the way that you think, does affect the way you feel. And it's very important to have powerful thoughts on a daily basis. So you are, more so aligned with your heart and not so much your ego. Your ego is always talking in lack or limitation or judgment or self-doubt, where you can actually get more so aligned with your soul, which your soul always speaks in inspiration and happiness and joy and upliftment, and there's abundance for all, and there's so much love and creativity. And, it is playful. It is joyous. It is how you can kind of get connected to your higher self on a daily basis. If you, pump yourself up and kind of allow yourself to connect with your higher self on a daily basis. So how you do that, I think, with the third house is robotic affirmation. And you don't have to do them all the time, but if you have trouble being, with being in your ego or pessimistic, this is where you can have robotic affirmations and really change your beliefs in a really powerful way. Because with Pluto in the ninth house, you can be a very powerful manifester, but you have to have powerful beliefs. And a belief is just what you think, it's a permanent way of thinking. So if you change the way you think on a daily basis, you actually don't have to robotically affirm, because you'll just start thinking more positively. So this is a big way that you can balance out the mind and the heart and recognize that where maybe you were too stuck in the mind, and where you can get more in the heart, actually, where you can find that liberation with your true self, with the core of who you truly are. So you can just have more charisma in your everyday life. So you can just speak from more of that authentic, soulful place, more from love, more from your true power. And you can, magnetize the right, you can just manifest a lot easier. You can manifest a lot easier when you have those powerful beliefs and you're feeling good more often. And yeah. you will kind of just readjust your reality so you don't have to convince or you don't have to persuade. You just kind of know you're, in your own flow, in your at the right place in the at the right time and talking to the right people and manifesting your reality in a way more powerful way. So you can definitely become the creator of your reality in a really powerful way with this Mercury retrograde. And you can release any doubts or any ways that you just get stuck in negative stories or, just the ego limitations where you can just be bold, more in your authenticity on a daily basis, just have more confidence and yeah, more remembrance. This can set you up for a big remembrance where you just set the standard of living your life on a daily basis um, in a very magnetic way, in a very magnetic state with powerful beliefs. So yeah, it's just very easy for you to manifest your reality. So, because yeah, you're going through a transformation with who you hang out socially too. So Saturn, your 11th house is like, do you have negative friends or do you have friends that are weighing you down? Do you have friends that maybe you have outgrown? And it's going to be always powerful to align with big, bold dreamers that are pumping you up, that see your vision, that are like-minded. And you might be liberated from anyone who doesn't really see your vision and you're just being reinvented in a whole new way. This could be you seeing where you held yourself back in any way, with Uranus here. Now you can just represent who you truly are. You can try that style. You can try that, that unique way of seeing the world. You can really express it to people and see who's in alignment with that. And yeah, this is just a way that you can have full-blown freedom, Why isn't this coming out? These aren't coming out for you for some reason. So yeah, you're gonna just you aligning with more of your fun and creation and self-expression. And maybe you want to write, maybe you want to start a blog. You can be a very powerful influencer, but it's always going to be more powerful if you're aligning with your authentic voice and your deeper soulful self. So joy came out. Like a child, I discovered joy in the simplicity of life. Okay, like a child, I discovered joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in the magical moments and not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. So yeah, you finding your joy in your daily life can lead you to a lot more expansion. And then I am the light. I always have hope, no matter the ordeal. I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. I open up my heart to others and to God. I am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. Wow. So yeah, you are finding your light in a whole new way and you are breaking out of any limitation where you were holding yourself back. So you can just be out in the world and you can be, way more magnetic to all the right opportunities and the right people and the right relationships that love your light. Yeah, more trust, more faith in the universe. You are kind of getting in tune with that universal flow so you can manifest your best reality. And so you can be open to what's really meant for you. And the Fool came out. It's like you're starting a whole new chapter. You're excited about this and you're going to be taking a leap and you'll have the right mindset to do it. All right. Thank you so much, Gemini. Cancer. So this is happening in your second house, which your second house is your money. It's, yeah, just the way you make money in a more so hourly way, day-to-day way that you make money. And it's also your values. You can be going through a shift with what you value. And when you do that, you get into alignment with what you're manifesting into your life. So when you do get into alignment with what you value at that deeper soul level or from your soul, and I don't like saying deeper because when you connect to the soul, you go higher. So you connect to your joy and your inspiration and your excitement and your radiance. Then, it's easy to attract in what you really want, So when you're manifesting from the soul, it'll come in super fast. So, and this is also elevating your self-worth. So you can recognize what stories you have that have been keeping you that have kept you playing small, that dimmed your light and dimmed your self-worth. So you can have a boosted up self-worth that is more in alignment with how you shine and how you radiate out in the world. And, this is maybe you decide to kind of get a makeover and you decide to be a little bit more bold and a little bit more vibrant. And yeah, you're just boosting up your self-love too. So when you boost up your self-love without that need for any external validation, and you're just kind of going after what you truly value, then you will, manifest money, relationships, everything that you want, and you will really have that stability in your life. And sometimes we can go through a misalignment with values because if we're just valuing something because other people value it, or we think we need this because we think it'll make us happy, but it's really just coming from the ego. This is where you can kind of get into that elevated value of what your soul truly wants. And when you manifest what you value from that way, yeah, it does come in a lot faster. And then it also is so much more fulfilling, it will, it's like, sometimes you get like a handbag or something and it's satisfying for a little bit. You can get into alignment with this way where you're manifesting something that you value, that is deeply meaningful to you, that you will value for the rest of your life, So getting into that authenticity with what you truly want in life, and so you can manifest more money, so you can create more. I think this can help you become more creative too when it comes to your work, with this trying to Saturn and Neptune in the 10th house. You're getting into alignment with how you want to be seen out in the world. How can you shed all the old identities that weren't you in the past, so you can be more authentic with who you truly are and radiate in the way that you really want to radiate, with more natural, just natural confidence and the charisma, and more from, just joy and wanting to create in the way that you want to create. So this can be maybe a business idea that you want to implement out in the world, that does come from that deeper soulful aspect of yourself. And, you're not afraid to look weird. You're not afraid to pursue what you really want to pursue, but it allows you to show up out in the world in a more authentic way, without feeling the need to defend yourself or convince. You're just getting more in touch with what you truly like. So it can just be a part of your life, and you're being really authentic with that. So belief came out. I believe in myself and the beauty of life. I have the goodness of God. Thus, I have the power to fulfill my dreams. The will of the Almighty supports me. My life is showered in divine light, and my heart opens to the power of the universe. So yeah, just know that the more that you can create what you value, from that abundant part of your soul, you will always be rich. You are meant to, kind of be a creative even, and you can be rich being a creative. And that is so much easier to do when you are tapped into that abundant source all the time. And if you really want to be rich, there's nothing wrong with that. So you can release any limiting mindsets too that are from the ego, any limiting money mindsets that are from the ego, because when you're hearing, or when you have a perception, or when you're thinking in a way that's lack or limitation, that's not source, that's not your higher self, that's not your true soulful essence. So you can release any limiting mindsets and believe in the abundance of money that can flow into your life on a consistent basis, very regularly, with you just doing what you love, by you being more of you out in the world and being powerful with that. And yeah, that can free your way to a more abundant reality. All right, Cancer. So powerful affirmations for the second house. You know, this is about money. If you want to magnetize money in, I'm a money magnet. I make money, so much money from doing what I love. Money is easy for me to make. Money has always been easy for me to make. I am so rich because I am God. Like, if you want to get really deep into manifestation and awakening, you can say that. I make so much money. I have this much money in the bank. I create $500 a day. I create $1,000 a day. It is so easy for me to manifest money. It is so easy for me to manifest money out of thin air. I get paid to be myself. I love that one. I get paid to be myself. And that is very suitable for Cancers, because Leo does rule your second house. So you being yourself, you can get paid. That's definitely a thing. So my income is rapidly increasing. I'm a money magnet. I am worthy of financial security. I am financially free. Any of those affirmations, whatever one makes you feel really empowered, I find is the one that always works. That's the way to go. If you need help just getting aligned to take actions that help you create money, you can say, my actions create prosperity. I'm so happy, I'm so wealthy. Kind of any affirmation like that, really, really powerful. If you want to boost up your self-love and self-worth, just say, I love myself so much. I radiate out in the world. I am fully embodied in my full authentic self, and I allow myself to be powerful, and I love myself so much, and everybody loves me. Anything that really helps boost up your self-worth is also, they go hand in hand with making money. So that can also be really, really powerful. All right. Thank you so much, Cancer.